Hello, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here. I'm going to do a little supplement for Miss Eubanks' lesson she's been doing. I think she's been doing a really good job. But I noticed you're also having a little bit of trouble with composite shapes. So I wanted to put together a little video for you and show you just how simple composite shapes are. So let's get down to it. Now, by the way, when we go to do these, we need to remember our formulas, like, areas. Oops, one small one. Of, say, like squares or rectangles or, parallelograms. Okay. Rhombi, we're just going to use base times height, right? Don't forget for the area of, say, a triangle, we're going to do the base times the height, and we're going to cut it in half, divide by 2. For the area of a circle, we're going to do pi r squared, which is kind of like base times height times pi. Okay, and then for an area of a trapezoid, we're going to have average the bases and then multiply by the height. We're just going to use these formulas. And here's all we need to do. You see this shape number 1 here? I don't even know what to call this thing. It's kind of, got a square hidden in it. Okay, got a triangle, a right triangle, and a half a circle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into those things. I'm going to cut across there. Oops. And I'm going to cut down here. And I'll probably move that over just a tiny bit. And notice I've got a square, a half circle, and a triangle. In fact, I actually have a right triangle, don't I? And so first of all, I'm going to do the area of the square. The area of the square is going to be 8 times 8, which is going to equal 64 inches squared. Okay, now I'm going to do the triangle. Let's see, I know this is 8 because that's a square. I know that's 8. Oh, no, I don't know that's 8, sorry. That distance there is going to be found by doing the total distance of 14 from here to here and taking away the part from here to here. So 14 minus 8 will be 6. So the area of the triangle will be found by doing the base of 6 times 8, but then I cut it in half. And when I do that, I'm going to get 24 inches squared. So you see, this big composite kind of hard-looking shape is really just a bunch of simple shapes that I already know how to do. Okay, now the circle. I know that for an area of a circle, I'm going to do pi times the radius squared. But this is half a circle, so I'm actually going to divide my answer by 2. All right, well, let's see here. My radius would be this distance, right? Wouldn't that be 4? And so I'm going to have 3.14 times 4 squared. That'll be divided by 2. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to underline those because I'm going to use them. And so it's going to be 3.14 times 16. If I cut that in half, that's the same as 3.14 times 8, because 2 goes into 16 8 times. Okay, so now I need to multiply, and I'm going to go ahead and go to Chrome. I think Chrome. Oops, looks like I'm on a video, but that's okay. Let me pause this video. So it looks like I get 25 and 1200ths, and so I can get this, and that'll be 25 and 1200. So my 3 areas were 64 inches squared, 24 inches squared, and then I had 25 and 1200ths inches squared. And I'm going to change that so it looks like a 2. And then I'm going to add together. I'm going to have inches squared, and there's going to be a 12 there. And 8 and 5 is 13. Carry the 1, and that'll be 11. And there you go. There is the area of the composite shape, 113 1200ths inches squared. Okay, let's look at another example here. This hexagon. Well, check this out. Couldn't I break this hexagon up into two trapezoids? Yeah. And if I could figure out the distances from here to here at a right angle, I could figure out the area, because I've got base 1 right here, and isn't this base 2? And I'm told that that's 20. And if the whole thing from here to here is 6, then half of it must be 3. And so the area of one of the trapezoids, this is only one of the trapezoids, mind you, is the average of the bases times the height. Now that's one of the trapezoids, okay? When I'm done, I'm going to have to double it, because there actually are two trapezoids, right? Do you see the two trapezoids on me? I'll highlight the one I'm going to find the area for, right? See that trapezoid right there? Okay, but then there's actually a second trapezoid right down here, isn't there? Right, so they're actually congruent. So I'm going to find the area of the two trapezoids. Actually, just find one and double it. Okay, so let's get back to the problem. And looks like I'm going to get 32 over 2 times 3. That'll be what, 16 times 3, which I believe will be 48 centimeters squared. But then when I double it, I'm going to get 96 centimeters squared. And there you go. Pretty simple. Just break it up into its simplest shapes. All right. One like this. We've got a rectangle, but there's been 2 holes cut in the rectangle. We know the diameter of the holes is 2 inches. All right. Well, I know that to get the area of the rectangle, I'm just going to do the base times the height, which is going to be 18 times 10, which is going to be 180 inches squared. Okay. Now, the area of the circle is pi r squared, right? And r is 2 inches, excuse me, d is 2 inches, r is half of that, so r is going to be 1 inch, and so the area of one of the circles is going to be 3.14 times 1 squared, which ends up being 3.14. But there's actually 2 of them, so I'm going to double that. So 3.14, and I'll have 6.28. Now, these circles have been cut out. Remember, what operation would that be? That would be subtraction. So I'm going to do 180 minus 6.28. Okay, I'm going to do some borrowing here. And that's going to turn to 7, and that's going to be a 9. That's going to be a 9. And then that's going to be a 10. And 10 minus 8 is 2, and a 7, and a 3, and a 7, and a 1. And I have my answer. And all I needed to know to do the area of this was the area of a rectangle and the area of the circle. And then I just found double the area of the circle, and I subtracted. Pretty simple stuff. All right, that's a review for composite shapes. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.